Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Locks OTD podcast. This is episode number 11, and I'm back with Zach and Andrew. Today, we are going to go over last week's recap, in which we went 2 for 2 on NFL Sunday, which means we are now 15-5 over our last 5 podcasts for NFL Sunday, up 21.1 units, so still very good. And of course, we're going to go and give you today's NHL and NBA premium locks for free. And then touch tonight's game with the Vikings and Rams, give you guys a little teaser lock and a prop lock for you. And then the good old hot Sunday locks, we got to move into that and give you guys that one as well. We'll give you our favorite picks for that day and lock in once again and hopefully get up to 19-5, a little sweet this week. So let's get into the recap of last week of our 2-2. We went minus 1.4 units. So Andy, show them what we had.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I brought you guys another L, sadly, with 49ers money line. Purdy just couldn't stop throwing interceptions at the end of the game. They almost had it. They could have tied it or would have been down, I think, 2 points at the end of the game. Could have had a chance to get the ball back if they stopped the Chiefs on offense, but they just literally just couldn't. Couldn't stop Mahomes. Purdy looked like crap. That's just how it was on Sunday. Zach,
Is what it is.
yeah, it is what it is.
We take our losses on the chin. We move on. Minus 1.4 units. We go up or down like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units a week. So minus 1.4 is like almost even. That's not really a big. I mean, yeah, we're up 21.1 in the past 5 weeks. So that's minus 1.4 is not a big difference. We're bouncing back this week. That's all I got to say. But
Absolutely.
anyways, I had for a 3-star Amon-Ra St. Brown, 7+ receptions, which was a minus 140. Can cash that. He had 8 receptions for 112 yards and 1 touchdown, which is like I said versus the Vikings. For some reason, Amon-Ra just goes off every time. But then I also gave you the second L of the week. 2-star Tank Dell, 5+ receptions, which was a minus 140. He was nowhere to be found. Texans offense was not there that day. CJ Stroud, I think, had 80 something passing yards, like 81 passing yards. So, yeah, if you had any Texans receiver, it was kind of an L. So we apologize for that one. Zach, show them what you had.
Uh, Oh yeah, mine was definitely a sweat this weekend. I'll tell you that much. We had Commanders -7, and they won. I think it was 40-7. I think was the final score. So they came out hot immediately. Andy Dalton threw a pick six, and I was kind of like, "Yep, that's how this game's gonna go." So Commanders -7 and a -130 was perfect because, as we talked about, that Commanders line went up to almost -10 or -11. So if you had gotten it at a -7, I mean, really wouldn't have mattered too much, but you got a pretty good win there, no matter which way you took. So
Yeah.
Easy
It
money.
wasn't it wasn't too difficult of a dub. It kind of cashed pretty early on. And I mean it's not hard when you go against the Panthers, one of the worst teams in the league. And Commanders are great. And you saw Mariota. Dude looked like a stud out there. That's just because the Panthers are that bad. But anyways, let's get into our NBA premium. Lock them in, fellas.
Yeah, I'll start us off with the 3-star. Going with the Boston Celtics -12.5 at a -120. If we didn't see the other night, Celtics, they can just shoot lights out. Opening night, they shot the three ball at 47.5%, which is just crazy as a team. Tatum had 8 of those threes and totaled 37 points against the Knicks, who have a really good defense, but obviously beginning of the season might struggle a little bit. Tonight they play the Washington Wizards, who were horrendous last year, only won 15 games, and they've added Alex Sarr from the draft, the second overall pick, and Jonas Valanciunas from the Pelicans. He was a center. So they'll get some help down low. Alex Sarr is like seven. He's like a 7 footer. He's just a monster. So if if he can turn into that elite scorer that the Wizards don't have, like they might be good in the long run, but right now they're still not it. I don't really buy the hype with rookies that often, unless it's obviously an alien like Wembanyama. So I think the Celtics should dominate this game. I think they will dominate -12.5. Probably another blowout win. Celtics will be 2-0, nice and easy, right over the Zach for the 2-star.
yeah, so we're going Oklahoma City Thunder +3.5 at a -130 tonight. They're opening up their season in Denver, and OKC looks like one of the favorites to meet up most likely with Boston in the finals this year. Um, OKC's biggest piece that they added, which is really going to help them tonight, is Isaiah Hartenstein. He's their center. He just inked a big, about I think it's 3 or 4 year, $75 million deal. Came over from the Knicks, which honestly hurts the Knicks a lot losing him. But Hartenstein is a big center who can defend at all levels, can defend down low, can defend at the mid range, can defend the 3 point line. And that's going to be big when he's covering Nikola Jokic tonight. And the main thing that he brings that the Thunder struggle with is rebounding. Hartenstein can rebound, and that's massive. This Oklahoma City team is so solid except for that center position. And tonight, you're letting Hartenstein fill in. Give me the 3.5 in a primetime game, and we're solid there.
Love that. There's your NBA locks for tonight, fellas. Make sure you go get those in. Now we'll get into our premium plays for the NHL games tonight. Andy, you want to give them the 3-star?
Yeah. I got a quick 3-star. Going with Devils of New Jersey, money line, -155. They're playing the Red Wings in Detroit. Devils have lost their last two games, which is, I mean, fine. They scored 5 goals each game. So it's not like they're having trouble scoring. It's just little defense, backup goalie too last game. Can't really get worried with that. Devils starting to heat up scoring wise. Meyer has 6 in his last 3 games. Jack Hughes starting to heat up. I don't see the Devils losing 3 straight here. And for Detroit, I really like this pick because it should be a backup goalie day for the Red Wings. Lyon, their starter, who's played unbelievable this year. He has like a 9-3 or some stupid shit. He's played 2 straight games and he came in relief for Cam Talbot in that third game. So he's technically played 2.5 straight games. So I see them starting Talbot tonight. And he's done nothing but struggle this year. He's played 2 games. One was against the Rangers, one was against the Predators. Predators don't really count because they're absolute garbage. But when he played the Rangers, he got lit up. He started the first period, got relieved in the second period, played 1.5 periods, let up 5 goals.
There it
That
is
is,
right there.
yeah.
And the Rangers, high-powered offense.
Yeah,
High-powered offense. He clearly can't handle the heat. Get
exactly.
out the
So
kitchen, buddy.
I see his ass getting pulled tonight. Devils, I think, are a pretty safe bet on the money line -155. You can lock that one in as a 3-star.
I love that kid. And then I'll get you right into the 2-star of the night for NHL. We got the Avalanche versus Utah Hockey over 6, which comes in at a -150. Why? These are two high-powered offense with a lot of skilled players here. The Avalanche have really underperformed this year, and they still average 3.43 goals per game. Meanwhile, Utah Hockey has averaged 3.14 goals per game while playing some good defensive teams. Mind you, they got shut out last game, so factor that in as well. And that's why I think they're going to come out firing and putting pucks on net. And a lot of the top players in the league are in this matchup. You got Cale Makar, one of the best defensemen. You got Nathan McKinnon, you could argue the best player besides McDavid. You got Mikko Rantanen, Ross Colton, who has 6 goals in 7 games. Then you got Clayton Keller, Logan Cooley, Sergachev. I mean, just all high-powered offensive guys who can run up the scoreboard themselves. Never mind the whole team. I'm talking like solo, they can do it. And then I just believe the Avs come out firing this game since they haven't been playing well. So over 6, -150. I love it. So Zach, do you have an NHL pick as well?
I sure do. We're you another 2-star in there. We're going LA Kings -1.5 at a -115 right now. And the Kings are coming off a 7 game road trip. Normally, we like to go the other way. A team comes back from a roadie, we're going to fade them. But the Kings were in Anaheim on Sunday. It's not really an away game for them. Then they took a quick little roadie over to Vegas, got their asses kicked, and they're coming back home tonight playing a San Jose team who, let me tell you, cannot stay out of the penalty box. 24 penalties in their last 4 games. So they're giving up 6 penalties a game, which is actually an absurd number when you think about that. So what does that mean? If you got someone in the penalty box, you can't create any offense and you're on your heels the entire time. They're also giving up an average of 35 shots the last 3 games, and it's 31 over their last 4. So that number is huge. Mackenzie Blackwood, shooting range, target practice for him. He's going to be getting peppered all night. So if this Kings team, who right now ranks right in the middle in power play percentage, can finish their chances, it's going to be a really tough one again for the Sharks, who are looking to get their first win. But I just can't see how you can bet on San Jose right now. So we're going with the Kings -1.5.
Yeah, it's crazy. The Sharks, obviously, they're not a good team, but they have a little bit of talent. But my Lord, they
Hmm.
cannot stay out of the box. You just simply will
Mhm.
not win games in the NHL if you're just going to get penalties. 6 penalties a game, good luck. You're not going to beat a team unless they're
No,
getting more penalties than you. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
that just ain't
terrible.
going to work. That's bad. That's bad.
Terrible.
But anyways, now let's get into the good old Thursday night football. Vikings versus Rams. I know you got the teaser over there, kid. Lock them in.
Oh, buddy. Do I got it? Come on.
You see it. The
This is
lock of
a
the day.
lock. We got for Thursday night, we're taking, which is tonight, Rams plus 10.5 and under 58 as a minus 165. If you look at the lines, Vikings -3, over 48.5, which is the second highest total of the week. That -3 kind of doesn't really make any sense for a 5-1 team, just coming off their first L, but against a good team against the Lions. So it like kind of really doesn't make sense. And I mean, the Vikings just made this season already look like a breeze. They beat the Packers in Lambeau, beat the 49ers by 6, who, I mean, the 49ers are just a little bit different this year. But then they also they murdered the Texans by 27. And all three of those games, Vikings were the underdogs. And Vikings have covered every game except for last week against the Lions. They lost by 2 on a game-winning field goal. Vikings still looked fine, which is they're just a good team right now. And Rams, on the other hand, haven't really had the best year. Injuries kind of set them back. Cup being out kind of set them back, but he should be back. Should be back. Um, and so far the Rams have faced everyone in the NFC North except for the Vikings. So, and they've lost all three of those games. I don't see them losing this game. I think this is why the lines are so tight tonight. And obviously, if you look at the money, where the money is tonight, everyone's on the Vikings. Everyone's on the Vikings. And that's quick money for Vegas because the last 2 weeks, Vegas has gotten smacked, like absolutely smacked by the public. So I don't see that trend carrying on for too long. There's a reason why Vegas is so nice. Like, come on now. Like, Rams are gonna come out, they're gonna do the job, they're gonna get that bag for Vegas real quick.
Yeah, Rams could
Well,
win the game. And I
yeah,
mean, people are sleeping on Cooper Cup coming back. He might not be a Ram for long, but if he's there tonight, he's playing. Like he's still going to get his yards, his receptions. He's going to make his impact on the game. And I mean, it's not like he's a low tier wide receiver. This is a big name, Cooper Cup. I
no,
mean, what 2 years ago, 3 years ago, he's the best in the league.
exactly.
It's not.
And they
It's not
saw
like he's terrible now.
Tutu Atwell's having a great year. Kyron Williams is having an amazing like year right now. He's got like 9 tutties or 8 touchdowns. I think he leads the league besides Derrick Henry. Like they're fine. Like
Yeah,
they're fine. It's just they've had a slow start. I mean,
of
what else
course.
can you do?
And Kyron, like you said, is just a dog. But you also mentioned someone else who was the two-star of the night, little prop. Tutu Atwell on the Rams. Over 37 and a half receiving yards, minus 115. A few weeks back, we had him as a three-star. He cashed for us with ease. He's going to cash as a two-star for us tonight with ease, okay? He's hit this every single game so far this season. So it's crazy that his line is 37 and a half. Yes, Cooper Cup is back, and he will get his catches and yards, like I said, but he will also be taking most of the attention this game, which who's their wide receiver too? Tutu. Tutu averages 66.4 yards per game. That's almost 30 more than he needs, almost double. And then he also averages 14.4 yards per catch. So that's obviously saying he only needs a few catches to cash us over. The thing is, Tutu is just a big play waiting to happen. So realistically, he could cash over 37 and a half yards, minus 115 in one catch. So you can take that one to the bank as well with teaser Rams plus 10 and a half, under 58, minus 165. Those are our locks for tonight's game. Let's move on to NFL Sunday and get them locked in, fellas.
Yes, sir. Do you want me to
And
fire mine out there?
get them out there, kid.
All right. This is a quick 3-star. This should be easy money. We're going with the Bills and Seahawks over 44.5. It's a minus 145. I think about 2 points on that. This line is set high for reasons. I mean, you got two very high powered offenses going at it. Geno Smith leads the league right now, passing yards with over 2,000 or almost 2,000. Allen, that dude's a monster. He's got over 1,200 yards with 12 TDs, 0 interceptions, 3 rushing touchdowns. That guy's just an absolute animal. Don't forget about little Kenneth Walker. Dude's been tearing it up. He's played 5 out of 7 games, being injured for 2. He's got still has 7 touchdowns this season and one passing touchdown too. Him being in the red zone, my lord, he's a threat and a half. Also, dude explodes in the middle of the field. He's got over 3 runs that were touchdowns, over 20 yards. This guy can literally do everything. Like Kenneth Walker is the Seahawks rock right now. And obviously Geno Smith can pass the ball, but man, if they're not having a good game, hand it off. It kind of that dude's going off. And
Still gonna work.
Seahawks average over 25.7 points a game, puts them eighth in the league right now. Bills, they average 28.4, puts them fifth in the league. Put those two together, you get 53. That's 8 points higher than 44 and a half, and that's what we need to hit our over. So I think that's super safe. Got a plenty of room to play with here. Smash that over. Lock it in.
Love it. And don't forget, Josh Allen also has Amari Cooper now. And the
Yes.
biggest improvement this year for Josh Allen is no interceptions. He's always been like the interception king, as in he throws a lot of them. The
Hmm.
fact that he has zero this year is wild.
No, he's locked in for
He
sure.
lost Diggs, like, yeah, crazy. But I love that. I love that. Zach, what's your Sunday lock over there, kid?
Swinging it right back. Usually we don't do this. We're going Commanders again. We're going Commanders money line. Well, this time we're giving you a little plus. We're giving you a plus 130. And here's the reason why I love this pick. And I love this pick because the Bears are 4-2. They're rolling right now. They're coming off a bye week. Usually out of the bye week, you start a little bit slow. But when you look at all their wins, they've beaten all teams that have one win, with the exception of Jacksonville, who now has two because they played another one-win team. So they have pretty much more wins themselves than all their opponents combined at this point. So they're coming into Washington. They're facing a Commanders team that's hot and they're playing well. You're probably thinking to yourself, why are the Commanders a dog at home? They're a dog at home because they don't know if Jaden Daniels is going to play this week. And they keep saying, he's questionable, he's questionable, he's questionable. Well, this line keeps going up and up and up. And when you keep looking at it too, we look at the money right now. 70% is going on the Bears money line and on the Bears spread. And wouldn't it just suck if all of a sudden Sunday Jaden Daniels is active to play and that line's going to shoot right back down? Even if Jaden Daniels doesn't play, I'll take Marcus Mariota all day. He has the weapons to not, I mean, he has the weapons to put up 25 to 30 points on the Bears because that Bears defense hasn't been very good. They haven't been very tested, and they really haven't had to play in a big game just yet. So I would say if you can get the Commanders at plus money right now at plus 130, it's an absolutely, well, words can't describe the value here. I love it. Can't even think of it. So plus 130 for the Commanders, amazing. And that's what we're rocking with. We're going Commanders back-to-back weeks.
Love
I
that.
love it.
Let's
I
go.
love it. And it's not like, yeah, like you said, Jaden Daniels, if he does play, it's just a steal. Like that's free money. And if he doesn't play, it's not like the Commanders are a bad team without him. They still have a good defense. They have a bunch of threats on offense. Their run game's fine. They got two running backs who can run the ball.
Mhm.
No problem there. Love that. Plus 130, good value. So now I'll lock you in with some props for NFL Sunday. We got a little 3-star over here in the Jacksonville Jaguars. Evan Engram, 5+ receptions for a minus 160. This is on BetMGM, it's minus 160. On DraftKings, minus 165. Little weird thing on ESPN, minus 220. So don't bet it on ESPN because that's not value, okay? Find this on BetMGM or DK. So the past two games while coming back from injury, he's had 10 receptions and 5 receptions while dropping 0 passes. He's clearly Trevor Lawrence's number one wide receiver since Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be covered by Jair Alexander this week, one of the best corners in the league, as I mentioned before. And the Packers are a bottom 8 defense against tight ends this season, so they've been giving up a lot of yards and catches to them. And Engram's one of the best they've seen this year, besides McBride, who put up almost 100 yards on them in like 8 or 9 catches. The over-under in this game is also the highest of the week at 49, so I believe there's going to be a lot of offense and a lot of yards. And if the Jags want to have offense, they can't do it without Engram. So I think Evan Engram for 5+ receptions at a minus 160 is beautiful value. Lock that in. Then we're going to go on to the little 2-star of the week for the prop. On the Miami Dolphins, we got Tyreek Hill, 80+ receiving yards, minus 125. We usually don't go with the big names. Last week we went with Amon Rock cash. This week we're going Tyreek Hill. It's going to cash, okay? He hasn't done this with the 80 receiving yards in a game since week 1. Good thing is, I don't care, okay? Tua's back this week, and he hasn't been back and played fully since week 1. And what happened in that game? Let's see. Tyreek had 7 receptions, 130 yards, and a touchdown. Tyreek Hill, he averages 114.2 yards per game in his last 17 starts with Tua. That's 35 yards more than he needs to cash us over. Also, we know Tyreek Hill. He can get 80 yards in one play. Just like I said with Tutu, how he can cash us over in one play, Tyreek is even more of that type of player. I mean, 80 yards, literally one catch for him. Cardinals defense has also given up, 147 yards to Brandon Ayuk. Amon Ra also had 7 receptions for 75 yards. Yeah, didn't touch the 80, but if Tyreek had 7 receptions, he's getting 80 yards. Same thing with Joshua Palmer. I mean, Chargers receiver, he wouldn't even be maybe a wide receiver 3 on most teams. He had 4 receptions for 63 yards. Are you going to tell me Tyreek Hill isn't 17 yards better than Joshua Palmer? A little weird. And same thing with Terry McLaurin, 7 receptions, 52 yards. Once again, if Tyreek Hill has 7 receptions, he's getting 80 yards. So clearly these receivers are getting open, getting their yards, and Tyreek Hill is going to be no easier than any of these guys. So you can lock in Tyreek Hill, 80-plus receiving yards, minus 125. Love it. You boys got anything else?
No, should be good. Should be all set.
We're all set. Beautiful. So that wraps up podcast number 11. Let's lock in, fellas. Make sure you follow us at LoxOTD on Instagram, Threads, obviously subscribe on YouTube. And we'll be back next Thursday. So get those picks in. Let's lock in. Peace.